Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I'm going to do the Kabbalah and the numerology and a little bit of astrology for January. So let's take a look here as I share my screen with you guys. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, let's get to the beginning of this. And let's start this slideshow here. So I know I should have this all like ready, but I didn't. All right. So we're looking at January 2022, and I'm doing this on the evening of December 31st, 2021. And if I had to define this last year for me, it was about really sort of powering through some of the most difficult energies that I've had to deal with. And many of you know that I've taken care of my mother for a number of years, and I finally had to put her in a nursing home this year. And it was, quite frankly, a huge relief to me. But I did feel like I had to take it as far as I could take it. And it was very difficult. But that being said, having this outlet to talk to you every day in the mornings, walking through the garden or wherever I happen to be, talking astrology, and then doing these monthly things, and now the taroscopes. And of course, all the things I've done with other people, with Reverend Denise, we just did one today, with Ona, with my soul sister, Marianne, who's gracious enough to do joint readings with me. I'm so very grateful. And even those psychics and astrologers that I don't necessarily know personally, who give of their knowledge and their heart every day and put themselves out there. It's not an easy thing to do, but sometimes you just feel like you have to be out there. So I'm just grateful for being here with you tonight, and then just feeling grateful in general. 2021 was one of the most difficult years I've had in a while, and I've had a number of difficult years, but this was difficult in a different way. But I think that having this community, and even just the people who, may just come by once or twice, or just, it all matters. It all matters. And we are coming up to a year where a great healing is possible, truly. And healing is instantaneous. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out process. It can happen like that. And we have possibilities for that this year and in the coming years. We had a decision to make in our 5-year, and we'll see what that decision wrought. And what that decision is going to wrought is what we're going to find in this 6-year. And then the 7-year, we perfect it. But we're laying the groundwork for the possibility of great social change, and for the better, to support people, not to utilize them like fodder, but to support the life. It's time for people to benefit from the work they do, instead of having somebody who has a rocket ship to Mars benefiting. We have to concentrate on our Mother Earth this year, and that will happen in the 6-year. So let's take a look and see what we have here. So we'll start with the numerology. So of course, the monthly vibration number is a 1. It's January. It's the first month of the year. And very often January is when we make our New Year's resolutions. We resolve to do something. And so there's energy in that, and, then there's the old joke, oh, how long did that last? Like 2 weeks, it's become like a punchline, but there's a lot of power in that one number. And so I think that we're underutilizing our power here. Who's doing that? We're choosing, right? We're choosing maybe, or maybe we didn't know, but now we know. So now we get to choose. And this universal year, 6, is a year of choice. So let's talk about the number 1. So according to Gene of Spiritual Light Vibrations, one of my favorite books, the number 1 is the vibration. The 1 vibration is an energy that begins all actions. The first point of thought becomes action. It is the leader that leads the way into new direction with courage and determination. The ability to concentrate and focus gives the 1 undivided attention to the goal he or she pursues without distraction. New ideas, new projects, and the desire for expansion allows the 1 to go ahead with courage, originality, and decisiveness. So just in the reading of those words, you could feel the power of that number. So this is a time, this month, January, to plant some seeds. Not all the seeds are going to sprout, but some will. So it's a process of planting seeds this month, especially January through January. And the next number we're going to look at is the universal year vibration. This is the 2022 vibration. When you add a 2 and a 2 and a 2 together, you get a 6. And so that is the universal year vibration this year. And the number 6 is the vibration is the energy of service and responsibility. Service and responsibility. So we need to ask all year, where can I be of service? In this situation, where can I be of service? And as we serve, and as we're given our service in this year, the world becomes a kinder and gentler and more loving place. Chances are we're going to have a few, more climate catastrophe stuff, floods, or, where people get together and work together to help their neighbors. But we don't really have to do that, consciousness, we don't really have to do that. If we would just start loving each other, Mother Earth wouldn't have to go to these extremes. Now that sounds kind of like maybe a bit cosmic, but it is true. It is true. So the 6th vibration is the energy of service and responsibility, the humanitarian, the caretaker of the world. The 6 is serious and responsible, and the provider for the race. These are your farmers. Those guys that go out there every day to make our food. We don't even know who they are. And most of the time they're stuck in a situation where it's not exactly the kind of farming they would like to do. They'd probably like it to be a lot simpler and a lot closer to the earth. He or she is motivated by a sense of duty to their fellow man and finds joy in serving others. I know I find joy in serving others. That's why I do a lot of this. It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to give out what I know or what my understanding of things based on my life experience and my studying. If it helps someone, that's great. That's the kind of service. And I think people in the service industry are going to be perhaps the ones that we have to do the most healing on as we go into 2022. We'll see, right? 6 is the cosmic mother, nurturing all that are around. That's the vibration for the whole year. And then if we take the month 1 and the universal year vibration 6, we get the vibration for January 2022, and we get a 7. And this vibration represents the perfection of the God energy. This is the number of the mystic that must go within and seek silence and introspection to bring back the perfect idea. The 7 vibration swings higher than most numbers, so you can reach spiritual heights, but also can swing lower, so you must learn to balance this variance. There is great wisdom and inner knowing available as you go within, enter the silence, and become introspective. So this vibration of January 2022 is asking us to be introspective. Well, we have some help in January 2022 because both Venus for 29 of the 31 days of January is retrograde. It goes direct on the 29th of January, and it's been retrograde since December 19th. So we're bringing that energy of that time in as well with this deep introspection. And Mercury is going retrograde. And Mercury ends the year of 2021 conjunct Pluto and ends the month of January with Mercury conjunct Pluto. So there's some thing that is happening from that period to the end of January. There is a big shift, and it could be because it's a completion energy, the 7. Somebody who's important could be complete. Their cycle is complete, and it's because it's a person that people depend on. Then it sort of shakes our foundation in some way. So I feel like there's a seismic shift coming energetically through January. And halfway through January, or a little bit more, Uranus changes direction. It goes direct. So that Uranus shift in the middle of January will definitely we will definitely feel that, whether it's a metaphorical shift, an actual shift. Some places it'll be metaphorical, some places it'll be emotional, some places it'll be an actual physical shift. But that will happen, I think, in this month, but especially around that Uranus changing direction. And I think it's the 18th. Hold on, I will look for you. I shouldn't tell you that without telling you what day it is. It's on the 18th, and then the next day the sun moves into Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So it's a very powerful Uranian time, right in the middle of January. Okay, so that's the numerology. Pretty intense, right? Well, let's take a look at where these things fall on the tree of life, right? The Kabbalah part of this. So we have the 1 vibration, right? The January vibration. And in the tarot, this is the Magician card. It is associated with the number 1. Of course, it's the 1, that's what we're talking about. And Mercury, which is your mind and how your mind works. It starts the year, Mercury starts the year in Capricorn, and then on the 2nd, it goes to Aquarius. And we also then have a new moon in Capricorn, right, like on the same day. So there is this push forward to bring in something new, as opposed to bring in the same old. It's interesting because here in the States, right, this time is when they're going to do a service or commemoration of the people lost at the Capitol. And, they're going to be highlighting, kind of what happened, and maybe the January 6th committees. I don't know if they're saying anything specific on that day, but, there could be some, I would think they would say something solemn. I'm sure Liz Cheney's going to talk, right? Anyway, let's go back to this. I got on a tangent. It happens. Those tangents are usually pretty accurate, so I would pay attention to them, I think. 12th. So the magician is the 12th path on the tree of life. There are 32 paths on the tree of life. So this is high up in the tree. It mediates between Kether, universal breath, and hold on, I have to move something here. I can't see. I'm like sitting on my notes here. Universal breath of life, and Baina, which is the Sephrith of the Eternal Mother, the divine feminine. Kether is the Sephrith of unity consciousness, and the path between unity and manifestation is to focus intention. This new moon in Capricorn is going to be a very powerful time to put an intention. And because it's Capricorn, you can have it be for finding the work that is spiritually fulfilling and financially rewarding, where you can do the work. So it's a powerful time for that new moon in Capricorn on the 2nd. It's also trine Uranus. So there's great flow for change. And it's as if there are these energy waves coming, and we have an opportunity to get on a good point of the wave. It's going to take courage to even want to get out on the wave. But once you're out on the wave, you're going to be in a good position. And sometimes it's going to get scary, and sometimes you're going to be out of your depth. Maybe you're going to feel that way. But you are, as long as you stay aligned with your heart, with that sense of service, the 6th vibration, you will be guided to safety. You will. The astrological attribution is Mercury. And of course, we do have that Mercury retrograde this month in Aquarius. Aquarius is the group, humanitarian. It's about rethinking that. And Aquarius is also exclusivity and elitism. I'm part of this. I'm an anti-vaxxer. I'm a pro-Obama, Rama. Whatever you are, whatever you define yourself as, that is going to manifest, right? So this is a powerful, powerful time. And the retrograde makes us think about that. Like, what is it? What do you want the world to look like, right? What's your vision of the future, Aquarius? Like, is the future going to be like, the end times and zombies walking around? Or is it going to be something other than that? Are we out of the hell realms yet? And now we're reaching up to a more aligned and loving place. People are hurting, and we need to tend to our wounds first. And then when we're strong enough, we get together with other healers and we do the healing. It's a powerful time. Jupiter is in Pisces again, and it's getting potentiated by Neptune in Pisces, and that can bring great healing, but it also brings great waves. And so we are riding the wave. We are riding the wave. The Hebrew letter here is Ba'ath, which is the house. The essence is controlled action. The intelligence is the transparent intelligence. the knower of all things. The veil associated with this card and with this path is that illusion and trickery are the essence of magic, when point in fact, magic is a universal force traveling through the vehicle of the physical body. We are magic. We can create magic. We co-create with spirit to create magic and change on the earth. So when we look at it and where it sits on the tree of life, it sits right here. Here's Kether. That's number one. Hokmah over here, Baina over here. And it sits between Kether and Baina, connecting the path, the middle path, the path of transformation, not column, what's it called? Pillar, the pillar of transformation, the pillar of the present moment, with the future. We are literally seeding our future with what we do in January. And these are Capricorn seeds. So they are hard fought and hard earned. What have you learned from the last, how long has it been? 2000? Maybe before? A lifetime? What have you learned? What can you help somebody else with? How can your knowledge serve? How can your being serve? It says the magician has mastered the 3 layers of the mind, the subconscious, the waking consciousness, and the superconsciousness. The magician is the master of the elemental forces of fire, water, wind, and earth, in the 8 directions: south, west, east, north, above, below, center, and ether, everywhere. The path connects the middle pillar of transformation to the pillar of the future. Transformation for the future, planting the seeds in January. This is a card of focus, concentration, and intention. What are your intentions for your life? January. The 17th path is the separating or disposing intelligence. This is the 6th. The universal year vibration for 2022 is the Lover's card. The Lover's card is a card of choice. You have a choice of which direction you want to go. Will you choose life? North Node moving into Taurus. Will you work toward life? Or the South Node in Scorpio? Will you decide to transform into another form and leave the earthly realm? That's really the question that we will all on some level pose ourselves over the next couple of years. Do we have the will, the strength, the drive to really see this through? And it doesn't have to be a terrible experience. You just have to do what you do, and do it with an open heart and an open mind and with open arms. I think that's my mantra for 2022. Open mind, open heart, open arms. It is time to welcome each other back with compassion and love, with a sense of responsibility for a fellow man and fellow woman and animal and plant and planet. The Lovers, the 17th path, is called the separating or disposing intelligence. It mediates between Baina, the eternal mother principle, and Tiphareth, spirit, beauty, spiritual beauty and light manifested on the plane of earth, or the eternal sun principle. The astrological attribution is Gemini. The North Node has been in Gemini for 18 months and moves into Taurus on the 18th of January. And so the year starts with the North Node in the last degree of Gemini, which is its most powerful degree. So there is a decision to be made and an information and data to be determined and to be looked at and to be evaluated. And so you can make your decision. The November election is going to be one of those inflection points when we see really what people decide, how important it is it to them for things to get better. We'll see, right? The Hebrew letter here is Zayin, meaning the sword. Excuse my Hebrew, by the way, I do not speak Hebrew, so I may be saying it wrong. The intelligence is called the separating or disposing intelligence. In order to join, separation first must be acknowledged. So we need to acknowledge how far apart we are. We need to see that and acknowledge it, and then work to bring us back together. The lovers are the children of God, also referred to as the children of the voice of the superconscious. The veil associated with this is that each one of us is a completely separate entity. We are born alone and we die alone. And that is untrue. We are not alone. Separation is essential for evolution. A part of the self stays in ascension while part of the self descends into manifestation. We are each a spark of the one flame. It is time to move in the direction of spirit and love and unity. The Lover's card represents the sword that slashes down through the cosmos, separating the whole of us into discrete forms. We can see the Lover's card right here. Oops, let me get my cursor up. Where'd my cursor go? I'm sorry, I'm looking for my cursor. Oh, there it is. I was moving it around too fast. Here's the card right here. It's hard to see, but that's the Lovers, and it connects Bina, the third Sephiroth there, divine feminine, with Tiphereth, the son of God, S-U-N, S-O-N, center of the tree, the heart chakra. Heart and mind are one. Mind and heart and mind. Amen. The sword distributes gender and polarity through the universe, creating the tension of opposites. We know the tension of opposites. Part of the vibration of the 6 this year will be the opposite, the extreme and opposite, I think, will remain for most of the year until we can come to a point where we make a decision on it and which direction we want to go. So we will see. But the more unity and the more love that we create, the better chance of we're going to choose life instead of death. It is the force that takes the limitless substance of the universe and categorizes it. Through Zayin, we know ourselves as individual and unique. On another level, 6 symbolizes the royal exalted marriage, the marriage of the emperor, key 4, with the empress, key 3, to give birth to the son of God in Tibereth, the Christ consciousness in Tibereth. This is a card of choice. So we get to choose this year. Are we choosing love or are we choosing fear? Are we choosing opening our arms or arming ourselves? Which is our choice? And then January 2022, the 7 vibration is the Chariot, right? And this is the 18th path, the intelligence of the house of influence. This mediates between Bina, the eternal mother principle, and Gebura, the universal principle of destruction. This is the 7, this is January. This month has this vibration and this energy. Remember I said there was going to be a big change in the middle of the month with Uranus changing. This is another indication. Not to say that it will be that Uranus thing, but that there is a big change and a big shift in the energy this month coming. It is the astrological attribution of Cancer. Cancer is the polarity point of Pluto in Capricorn. We evolve through the polarity point. If we want to evolve into the future, we need to evolve in the direction, our soul, our collective soul needs to go in the direction of Cancer, which is the feminine, which is nurturance, which is reverence for women and children. I live in a country that only cares, not all, but many people in this country, or one specific political party only cares that babies are born, that women, if they are foolish enough to get pregnant, should have that baby. That a woman doesn't have a right over her own body. That a woman isn't, what, spiritual enough to choose? She's the bringer of life. She brings life into this world. But it's a difficult and arduous thing to do, to give birth to children that you give a society who will shoot them, you abuse them. So what? So somebody at the top can, I don't know, have a 14-year-old girl? I mean, what? This is what we're seeing. This is what the whole Epstein-Maxwell thing was about, showing us just how depraved we are. Not us necessarily, but those people, you know, on some level us, because we're not putting our foot down, we're accepting it. Like, it's, yeah, okay, you're right. We can't protect our children. We can't even let women decide if they want them. And then when they have them, we're not going to support them. We're not going to feed them and give them medical attention. What? And then, like, you know, their welfare mothers can like live off the hog, high off the hog, not do nothing. Whoever talks like that doesn't raise their own children. They have no idea what it takes to raise a child. And then when you drop poverty on top of it, I mean, hello, talk about heavy lifting, gentlemen. Cancer, girl power, feminine power, nurturing power. You know, Cancer is the nurturer. It's the breasts. I mean, a woman can feed her child from her body. Men can't do that. It's a beautiful thing and a beautiful connection to the feminine. And the feminine is rising because the feminine doesn't rise, we're gonna destroy ourselves. We're going to Mars, folks. For what? Do we really think we're ready to go to Mars? We went to the moon and lost our minds. What's going to happen when we go to Mars? Oh, goodness gracious. We need to keep our feet planted firmly on the ground and live on this planet and fix and get a relationship with Mother Earth. That's what we need to do. Goodness gracious. This is the intelligence of the house of influence. In the physical body, we are the act, the actor, and the means of action. The physical body is a physical representation of our soul. And we need to channel that soul energy so that we can do our soul's work. We need people doing their soul's work right now more than ever, because we are at a great shift and we need a good push, and we're going to get a good push, and it's going to start in 2022 in January. But we're going to be part and parcel to that because we are going to be co-creative. Our heart and our mind must align. The Hebrew letter, Keth, sorry, Hebrews out there. I mean, people who speak Hebrew out there, which means fence. There's a boundary here. There's a fence. There's a line. There's when you put a fence, you could have a big open field. You put two fences, you have a path. And this is what this card is about. It's the path, your soul's path. Getting on the horses, getting in your chariot. Your chariot is symbolic of your body. You are the charioteer. You are the spirit directing the body to do your work, your part. You agreed to this, you're doing it. And so you must endeavor to do it. Do your work, January. The essence here is that the personality is a vehicle for ascent or descent, change perspectives for a new field of view. There is a veil that true knowledge is blocked by stopping the inquiry at the symbol. Symbolism represents spirit, but is not spirit. The symbol has power. The symbol has power. Forms act as limitation, but it is not. It is protection. Form is the ring past knot, a finite field of activity in which the force of spirit resides. New force will dissolve old forms. This is the creative process. You are the creative force. You can create your own reality. And that's what we're all doing. So you have to pick what you want your reality to look like. Do you want heartache and death and destruction and war and poverty and famine? Or do you want neighbors helping neighbors and, growing vegetables and helping one another and teaching one another and having circles where the elders sit with the youngsters and reconnect with our heritage and our history? The United States, especially with its Pluto return this year, is gonna get a big eyeful of its shadow to be healed. Okay. Where is the Chariot card on the Tree of Life? So the Chariot is the vehicle of force, of the force of spirit. A vehicle carries, conveys, or expresses. And here we have it right here. The interesting thing is the Chariot sits in the pillar of the future. And generally, when you're in the pillar of the future, you can't really plan more than 3 months ahead of time because you're creating your reality in the moment. So this is a big year, but you can take the first 3 months of it and you can create in that, and as you create in that, something else opens up, and then you create in that, and then something else opens up. So it's this sort of concentric opening up that is possible um, at this time. I think it has something to do with the 333, which is 9, but 333. Moving on to a new path, which involves the essence of your spirit. Moving on to a new path, which involves the essence of your spirit. Who are you? Who are you? What brings you joy? Your spirit resides in your heart. What brings your heart joy? That's what you need to do. Be like the child, play, have fun. You know, what brings you joy? Do it. It's not the same thing for everyone. Everybody has something else. We're all made up. We're all little parts of the whole. And so we're not all going to want the same thing. And so it works. It fits in like puzzle pieces. And we move with the wave instead of trying to, keep fighting the current. It's going to tear you apart. All magic is will. You are learning the deep meaning of real magic. What do you will? The choice is yours. Learning the effective use of power of words, deeds, and symbols. This is the card of swift forward motion. So the chakras associated with these paths, as we look, as they line up on the tree of life, the magician connects the crown and the third eye, right? Which kind of makes sense. Kether, right? Kether above, coming down into Bina, the Sephiroth of the Divine Mother. So it's like God is giving direct direction to us as to, or God Goddess, all that is, because it's not in that state, in the state of Kether, it's not a God or a goddess. It's pure potential being focused with intention into Bina, which is the great mother, the womb. And we're in a year of the great cosmic mother. So we need to see clearly and focus our intention for the good, for the healing, for what you want to see. Because this power is open and available to anybody. Yet most people don't know. And a lot of times people who do know will try to manipulate them in such a way to bring that destructive force to bear. And you, as a light being, and somebody who's even listening to anything I have to say, it's your purpose to be the light, to balance that and to overcome that and overtake it with love. That doesn't mean you have to jump in front of, you don't have to jump in front of bullets or anything. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you just have to be in your heart, because your heart is where your power is. It's what makes us human. And we're here for a reason. So the Lover's card, this activates the third eye in the heart, your vision and what you love. Visualize what you love. Love what you visualize. Powerful. Powerful. Bringing the Christ consciousness through the path of duality right? The Gemini path, the Lover's card, separating, disposing intelligence. We cannot come together until we realize we're apart. We realize we're apart. We have to come together. It's the nature of love, hence the Lover's card. Love unites. Fear separates. You don't want to be miserable and fearful. You need to love. And start small. Love your children. Love your husband. Love your pets. Love your yard. Love your garden. We'll get to the point where we love our enemies. We can do that too. This is connected to the Christ consciousness. Why couldn't we do it? And it's going to be with us all year. Powerful healing force this year. Jupiter conjunct Neptune, hello. In Pisces, hello. And I think, I could be wrong, I'm not sure, Mars might be close. I don't know if Mars is there. I shouldn't say that. There's something else close to that when that happens. That's in the year, that's later in the year though, so I don't have it right in my head. And then the Chariot vibration, the 7, that should say 7, sorry, it's a mistake, is the third eye to the throat, along the pillar of the future. So not only are you visualizing your future, what you want your future to look like, you're speaking it. And you're creating that future by speaking it into existence and seeing it and visualizing it. When I did the reading with Marianne the last time, and then after many subsequent readings that I did, and I know she does more readings than I do, so, and I watch all of them, so I know that the High Priestess kept coming up. The High Priestess kept coming up. And she's here to remind us that we are connected directly to spirit, that we have wisdom, that we know. Do not forget. You don't have to talk about it. You just have to know it. Know and keep silent. And do what you love. Because the High Priestess connects Kether, which is the crown, the Godhead, so to speak, with the heart, directly connects the heart and mind of God to our heart and mind. Powerful times ahead, people. Powerful times. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop. And I do have the first week of January done. I'm going to do it in a separate video because I think a lot of really good information came out in this video. And I think I'm going to just keep it concise to that. And then I'll do the first week of January. I may do that a little later tonight, or I may do that tomorrow. But it's a pretty powerful week, as I've been saying, right, with this new moon in Capricorn. But we will talk about that in the next video. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, share it with people that you know. You know, I feel like I have something worth, I think I have something I feel a need to share. And it would be nice for more people, if they're ready and if it's meant to be, for them to hear it. So I'm very grateful. I'm just very grateful for all you for listening to me all these hours. You could listen to anybody. You don't have to listen to me. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate all your generous gifts and donations and just your generous words, connecting every day, talking to me, you know, letting me know that it matters and it makes a difference. It means the world to me, really. Okay, guys, take care. Much love. And I will see you next month for the Astrology Kabbalah of February. But before then, I'll see you for the astrology, first week of astrology. And check out, I did a 1-1 portal tarot reading, and you can see what that means. I do explain it at the beginning. So the heck is that? I'll let you know. All right, guys, let me stop the share here so you can see me full face and I can say goodbye. All right, much love, everyone. Namaste, and thank you for everything.